Hello. I like to be a commentarist of sports. We used to do sports with psychology in India instead of tennis. Um, I've been a very physical person all my life, just dancing and jumping and hitting in the dance floor as well. Just playing is to be aware of the energy feel in the dance floor. Apart from people that like to be watching the podium, which gives me claustrophobia. And I thought they just could suck the energy of the people if they don't give it back. That's what I was just thought to. And now it's France and England playing. Takes a lot of muscle to build up. I could rebuild my muscle in 3 months. And yeah, I invested in my body again, but it was just the state of mind that gives you to be full embodiment of moving. Moving is something many don't know. My father didn't want me to go to university, so you're gonna lose your intelligence, the flexibility of your intelligence through time space, how it moves. You're gonna become like most of these people that just copy to pass the exam. They're trained for that, to be employees. Copy what they say, follow. Now we are moving into just have fun. Let's bring a little bit of history through the place on the grounds that brought us here. The Boyeux, the Tapestry of the Boyeux just returned to England in this week, if not two, in just now. I was talking that I got the tissue of reality also thanks to the Boyeux when I read the meaning and the poetry of how the tissue of reality was built, because this has been pushing me through so many people that I have been just came up after role playing so long and seeing how the storylines work throughout many people, many players. It's too much. I need to focus with the ball where I want to go. So the goal of this journey is to like this, right? This is like a comic strip that was made for the first time, and it's so long. So they made a good business, a good deal here, which was to stop the wars. We'll give this land to the Nordics. That's what it's called Normandy, but it's part of France. So it is yours, but you protect us. It is yours, but it's ours. That wasn't just a mere deal. Now they returned it in honor of what is building this part of this history with the tissue of reality that we're bringing throughout history. And now just imagine these two teams are playing. Macron, we all know he was raped, right? I mean, it's just part of history. You have Caligula and many characters of power. Just so cool just to be there in the corridors of power, honoring one another, like la la. So he says for Britain to keep writing the history when they return it back. And I'm like, you didn't make a tapestry? It was meant to be right in there and be more throughout all these decades and centuries. You have never pieced together what happened. And you want United Kingdom to write it there? Because it was meant to continue. Let's remember that England also has a lot of mix from the French, the England and the Nordics as well, beside the Celtics, but then they have brought the best character traits of them all with the Celtics, which bring the humor, the good humor, and the humanity is a bit more less. It is said the history is being written by the victors. Yeah, so because what they do, they burn what was there from the past, because they want to put people there programming of their own gods or religion or prophets. Go and see the Odyssey, or how Troy was built as the mother of all wars. That's where the beginning of the hatred from the East and the West started. The War of Troy. Just people keep posting on X and even telling stories that they didn't even read a book, and they just keep posting, copying and pasting the King of Mahahon united all the kings together to fight against Troy. Helen was an excuse. The Trojans were a superior race, more kinder and educated than the Greek, who were brutish, impulsive, savage. It's been depicted as that as well, right? Told by the very Greeks who wrote it. They were campaigning for 10 years before the walls of Troy that Poseidon built with the Centaurus, the Cyclops, sorry. It's one eye, very focus. Monsters. So it's written through the perspective of the Greek gods as well. We don't know what the Trojans were really involved, because they nearly all died and escaped to tell the story. They didn't really like the Jews or ex-Jews who were Christians. They were Jews and were writing everywhere, so the scriptures could go everywhere in case they got burned or destroyed. So passing the word was not just talking. You had to write everything again. So incredible, really. By stone writing, however, just to have it in the records. Nowadays, you can change any data records, make your own, hacking here and there. Here you have money, you can publicize in Italy and say it was printed on the 80s. that you invent in the tissue of reality, and copy everything that's been shared. This has been shared to unite the world only. If possible, for what you need is the clarity for the leaders in the world just to take care of their people, to be able to adapt and put in the data so it can later be pictured in a visual map. Eventually, in the future, they will figure out how it will work automatically. But right now, it's of every person pointing in the phone, in the consecutive platform that you're all linked together from one to the other, the main, to help bring food, work of their own designs. I really please ask you to support the royalty. I love royalty. Without royalty, we wouldn't have these fun stories. And I know Trump would like to make out of his family sort of like an American royalty or dynasty, like from Dallas, right? Remember the soap opera? Just forget about Americas now. Is England playing France? So I am very sorry for the insults from Argentina to the English black people because they are racist, right? So sometimes you have to stand not really knowing who you are. You're born in England, you're half Irish, half black, you know. But you have the multiverse within you. So I grew up a bit like that as well. People see in one way and then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were South American after 3 years." I thought you knew. And like, what's wrong with that? So it doesn't matter. My family was Spanish. It doesn't matter if they were Native American or a black boyfriend that was the most educated from all my boyfriends. And he had to endure through the hatefulness of many white people who thought he was a lucky guy because, you know, he had a black body. They hated him for that. I can see the also taxis not wanting to drive him, so I had to stand in the front. So, you know, there are players in France that are also having this marriage, like we're playing in here. We have mix of continents as well. For watching us. I belong to England and I belong to France. Is recording of but at the same time honoring them because they are looking through the spectrum of who they are. Many kids in Africa as well. I mean, the player should be 80% white because this is what represents the land. Is 80% native French, native from England. That's what I think as a nation that is working towards a goal. And how are these players being selected? So, as representative of their country, I think it has to do much with the energy that you are being given from childhood to play and through all your history, how your country treats you, and the discipline that you put more than others. to reach new levels. So you're being loved and your press is supporting you because they will be seen as, what used to be a tendency to be judging your own people, like Catherine to Meghan, when Harry invited her to the royal family with everyone. There are various stories to be told if you want to make stories with the United States. There are a lot of fun stories to be told from the kids in the United States growing there and the kids here, but separating them. Only a Middleton wannabe queen can do that. I wouldn't like the tissue of reality in England to be like that, as judging their prime ministers in the face of the world. Like, you want that chair to be prime minister? This is to Donald Trump. If you treat the prime minister of the United Kingdom wrongly, you're going to be called a pig. And Burnham is going to be supported for that. Don't make me overplay you. Not the kind of game I like to play. It is true with the rules of role play that if you place that story in the air, that story is yours. So the other player can write his story with the line you gave. So what will you do with the, so this is expanding into a multidimensional. So I would suggest to friends to start, what happened in all these years to get here today? Where's the continuum? You need to bring more, right? Oh, you're going to return it back, so they bring you more work. Like, excuse me, Mr. Liberty? Too much freedom. Too much freedom. All this pedophilia that you've been raped to be now the president of France with all the corruption. That's your part of the story, and like to honor the Tapestry with all Europe supporting for the nations to have also your piece of the cake. It's very honorable. Now for the players who are playing, what do you think? Where do you think the Normandy belongs, to England or France? It's a beautiful castle, one of the most beautiful, given to St. Michael. My favorite archangel. Not because he's an angel. He's the closest to Earth. They have different levels, but not in Bible. I don't know what kind of Christian or Catholic I am. I don't really study any priest here to let me know if I'm being Catholic to the book. But in what I have studied, Saint Michael Archangel were the demons of hell himself to kill evil himself, because it's not even good for hell, for the ecology of the underworld. It's become too corrupted, so it needs to be removed. And the very demons that work in hell will help some Michael. Michael is an angel that has demon friends. So you just imagine the angelic power coming from the heavens there with evil trap to kill. It's very corrupted to the core because corruption always emerges again. There are new people learning to deal and manage powers. They adore children as if they're teaching them. They believe children don't love their bodies. Children are just children. They love their bodies, but not like a pedophile thing. They're going to initiate them to whom they are by loving their body and being conscious of their body because they are perverts. Perverts make their own stories to grow from the cornucopia of abundance away from the mother, because Rhea had to give Zeus away so his father doesn't need him and grow up with abundance away from her. They have beliefs, all right? I didn't go to study all these mythological beliefs from them. Is also touched with power because they get sick of women wanting them for money. So they seek children because they think they're innocent and they love them for whom they are. And they're seeking the innocent being of themselves that they lost. So they need to trust in innocence. And they have a hard on with the, right? That's your president, first lady. I honor them to bring the tapestry. So you will honor me if you make part of the tapestry as well. What happened in all this year, the union, until you return it here? You didn't bring your piece of the puzzle. Maybe you were too distracted with the media. You have had so many artists. It used to be the mecca of the artists to meet in Paris, where Picasso was, where the writer from Ulysses, Joyce, was James Joyce. Colonist countries are having a lot of people from the colonies now within the European. So it's very conflicted and difficult as well to manage and control. Trying to invest in the goodness for the world as well. So I like to see this game for what is the best athletes. I think that there's a saying on every culture that that woman has you by the balls, and many men don't like that to be seen like that. You know, I think there's some sports women cannot play as good as men because you need balls to run like that. When I was like nearly in a coma in trance before the game, just with some music. I really wanted to just be there in a imaginative form. I was just really imagining a lot of running and running and running, and I was just present to win, right? Not against, but God, there was a lot of violence. violence. I was hot spams out of the nowhere. So you see, Trump hates the royal family from England. He didn't say it with love to share the Valkyrie Islands and make a new technological, political stage for all these lands that are in conflict so we can move into higher states of consciousness and give them a different worldly status. Not for other countries to start invading and having that share, but to stop it. So we can help our brothers and sisters to stop having like all these floods in China, because they will keep cutting trees from the mountains of the Tibet to deliver goods from around the world for money with their factories, because they don't have anyone there to bring order to their own countries with all these floods. To stop chopping the trees, because the trees need the roots to suck the water and block the waters. And these are international matters as well. The warming of the earth is the highest goal we should all achieve together as one on your own cultural beliefs and translations as you eat your food and just fuck your style. I don't care if you eat fast and you end up fat, what your husband does, because that's your culture. You know, in other cultures, you have all the women competing and just obsessed about their husband. Not any better. Not any better. I need science fictional cultures to mingle with. But if you're having fun, you enjoy your life, and you're honest, that's a great goal. I'll do a Mexican way for, all right? Don't trust your boyfriend. If he's a champion, stop posting in multimedia like a bitch that's famous because you fucked some people and are only 3. You really love that man, just really. Don't go and threaten him to death. So you will kill yourself if he has another woman as well. So he loses his popularity. I mean, these women are terrible. They can come up with anything. Nowadays, be careful where you stick your dick, all right? Or teach the woman to behave. You cannot have a woman where you have to teach her to behave because you need all the energy with you. And you need that woman to give you all that energy for you when you are to be a champion in the face of adversity, in the face of the world, even those journalists and people in your own team who want your place. They're just wanting to what? Don't joke in a bad way about each other as well. It's difficult. In Spain, you have people that hate each other because they don't think they belong to Spain. They're from the Barcelona. You're like, it's like Spain invested in the industry of Barcelona to have Barcelona what it is today. No, they don't. They have their own psychosis. All right, not share to the Spanish. It's good to clear your mind, of course, and not have all these problems, really, at all. Oh, God, what a beautiful thing is to be young and running in sports and being wild and being masculine, apart from everything that makes you be whom you are, to have that integrity. And I don't have no idea how the French play. To be honest, I can tell you from Argentina because I've never told anyone. Should never say it again. What do I win from that? What is my part in the basket? To see the world, really. That's the only reason, right? To see the world with all the world within the world. So we can put what we need. I need my children, Alice and Zane. Debbie is 32 and married. I pay her marriage. So I would just put, I need my children. I am in England, and the organization say, why didn't you write a book or why they grew up? That's what they say, because they have nobody watching there. And if I make a complaint or I record the conversation in the phone, they won't care. They don't really care about people. They have so many people to help from around the world. There's no human rights for people in the world. I had no job in Spain. I had hunger for 8 months. I had a lot of offers to work for free, but I thought I'm never going to get my children like this. So I had to lower my face and have a normal job for the first time. And for me, that's humiliation. It still is, because that part of me is aware that, carrying things. It's a shame to be walking in the streets with all these people. It's a shame people just go shopping. It's a shame. It's not where I grew up to be. Just to keep myself alive. I have been so mistreated as an employee and in England by so many, many. I've been mistreated. I've never talked about it. Never talked about it. Just keep on. But I do have mental illness from the mistreatments that I had from people in the government in Spain as well. Think to be superior. I wish I could act like an African that shows pity, some help. I'm like, but I just go normal telling my story. I need to tell them what happened. So I had so many insults of work from locals where they corner you, where there are no cameras, when you are working correctly. All sorts of horrendous stories from being, you just gotta just keep it in to move on. You know, I won't say everything I have done while working lawsuit for recycling. But that lawsuit was so they can have my solution where I didn't want the money. I wanted them to recycle. I had a solution, a formula for it through the mapping and the sequence of each borough where each McDonald's is, in conjunction with the government recycling and their own. But nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you have to tell somebody how to behave, don't think the person is for you. Narcissists are born from borderline women to protect themselves from that. So be careful what you engage, because they can make you a narcissist just to protect yourself from that, and you are ruined from that as well. So you think to be superior because look at that, but they're manipulating through that emotional. Some do it behind the scenes, some do it in the scenes to be seen and gain coverage. So just use that, and maybe if it's very one way or another. It's just you need your energy for you. There are a lot of things going on. If you're gay, it doesn't matter. People will just talk and talk and talk and talk. But it's good to convert that energy towards the ball. It's possible to have your inner circle 100% devoted for you and only. You are the hero, not just the man. You need the protection, not just your body, given to win, but all your country as well, all the press. There is no King Arthur with all his myths, or King Emahahan with all the kingdoms. Horse Troy. So, you need also people's perspective supporting you and hating you because they invite you. They want to be you, but they have to support you. So that's an engagement you have. Gonna be a better coach. Your coach knows better what is France. Their people are traumatized since they beheaded the queen. No matter how corruptive they were, they didn't come to a conclusion that's healthy for their society and those who are to administrate. So they still have that trauma. They will be burning their streets and having an endless revolution. That's not freedom, all right? They're still fighting for freedom. They don't have the responsibility to conclude and heal as to honor a, a peace back. It was to be written more part of the story. What happened all these years? I don't care what it is, just what happened, right? From when they stopped to now, till now. So, I gotta talk together here, pass the ball, take the ball. Because England is gonna write their part of the history with their honors. And take the honors you didn't. Now in the field, soccer, football, you have these young people sharing more or less what's a colony, more or less sharing the same sufferings of identity as well, being. what defines them apart. You know, you will see to the white British, they are more gentle and have a comrade. Not like the Irish. The Irish are more like ungrateful, always just talking bad about the English. The English are not talking bad about the anyone. But here we go. And now we're going to have a new prime minister coming to number 10. So Father Bishop Robert Barron is saying all things work together for good. So if you make one goal for England, thank God to make the next one as well. All right. So we'll get in tune there. So God is the our consciousness of all of us together as one, the highest of us. So we're like to reach as much as I like the underworld. I forgive the happenings and the stories of those who have love in other ways and found love in other ways, such as pedophilia. For some reason, they're forgiven and given positions of power. I am very sorry. And I can understand whatever you are very rich or very poor or middle class, they all have their traumas and misleads. It's very difficult to love and celebrate and bring homage to what brings you together, to forget who you are through whom you are and see other planes. So, if a woman likes to have you by the balls, you will know that you like this woman to have you by the balls, to construct a future together, because you are the provider. And she respects you, Wally, within, without, in the fields. Like there are archetypal, many archetypal relations, but the consciousness of the body is most perhaps more intelligent than the one that's stored in the brain, and how we relate. We should be more half the time doing sports. I used to have sport 5 hours a day, doing sports in the playground and after school from 5 to 7. Just enjoy moving the body. I would just dance night and day. Um, wow, I can understand. There's no so much energy when you are young. 4 hours of sleep, really. No time to think about anything. It's just the rhythm. And also people's what's going on when they're moving, right? Never. I will try to dance better until everyone is dancing in the relaxation beyond their tensions that they hold from what they believe to be or what they should be when they're dancing. So for everyone, is me dancing every day would also take half an hour to warm up. I would not stay in that high stage before. I will have to go through that warm up as well, where the mind lets go. It's letting go. I really love to be free, let free to dance as I want. It's very important to catch the other person's rhythm as well. And for me, it was to overcome their tensions so they could reach higher levels in the dance floor. So that was my playground. and the goal could not be controlled. Many that did the job we share that we could not control it. It happens by another source, something we don't know how, even though we had techniques. So sometimes maybe in the group of the people did not allow us as well to go to the higher state. We would be 3 times a week or 4. That's like children on heaven dancing. So there's a higher consciousness that's more pure and playful beyond all these worries, being or playing opposites. The dance moves by itself. And everyone is just so jolly. No one is looking for another one. There are no goals. But everyone, this is like a climax, right? Shared climax. Sports don't have that. But at least you can have that with your team. So when you strike a goal, what happens is very nice that you have that picture over the press around the world, and some people might make a picture out of it and make a T-shirt. Yeah, so it's not bad to have scripted the beautiful scenic movement that came from one and the others, and may just make you more together to strike another one. We're not doing the work in return. But thank you for the honor of sharing a tapestry. They have brought it home where it was made, and the tissue of reality is still being fought for. I know people betray very well, and they think to triangulate so they can get money and acceptance from there. Well, it is normal to corrupt truthfulness and story and hide crimes, kill people, and take from people's work. There's a lot of corruption going on with Trump as well. And the British are actually just trying to stand in the middle of all these tensions from around the world. Because they're supporting everyone. The Jews, the Arabs, everyone. There's the Europe, United States. It's crazy. So they get more hits, yeah? And also within. So it's not really about that, but that's happening as well. There is more to it. So if the Falkland Islands are shared, Argentina's going to have so much fight to win. Because you need that pain to win, to get something is yours. So they have stolen the tissue of reality for the multiverse from United Kingdom, and the tech titans are treating United Kingdom as they are the machine that's corrupted. They're treating that is decentralized and talking about the machine that's all problems from the past, but we're moving to higher directions with the multiverse. It has all the tissue of reality created here in the United Kingdom, where planet Uranus was found in Slough, and the railroads were engineered next to Windsor. With all the investments to go to the source, it works. That's a letter to the King of Spain when I was in Madrid, but of course, was not, the system didn't work. I think they understood. They didn't know what was this about. They didn't have the source to understand how important it is. So it's been 6 years fighting. So, it's very difficult. And where the computer comes from, where the investments comes from, the internet, all the investments supporting Hollywood movies, all the investments supporting the English language in the United States, all the investments that were made in the United States, even after the independence. And Trump wants Argentina to win. Can you imagine? Oh. I knew it was going to be very dangerous for the royal family to go to the United States and watch the game. It gives you more rights to win the World Cup in present time in Europe. You're playing for the nations of the world that deserve their percentage of the cake, or they have many layers within the globe map. So, well, my tomorrow talk to about Prime Minister. He's free to do as he wishes. Everyone is free to do as they wish. I wish for my children to return. Alice insane. Be with my mother and find a way to have the structure to go out, go to the sports, go to the dancing with people that are healthy in England. I haven't been trapped in my own mind, just putting energy on internet on what I see and trying to get the roles of role play and virtual reality with the source of United Kingdom. So I like you to honor what your United Kingdom, England signifies to me, to you, to the world, and have some respect to write their own story as well. And their puzzling as England defines theirs. Let peace reign, and of course, for the Falkland Islands, if Putin also agrees to share new technologies in these parts of these lands as a future step to have a vanguard form of passport for these people that have different entrance to Europe, Russia, as to Argentina, and United Kingdom. There might be from Normandy, right? It was a joke that happened a long time ago, but they do own a lot of land and Tapestry. The They show the highest class, the British in France. It was not because the French were superior, all right? There was a deal there in Normandy. This lances from both. But who defines who are the Nordics in Normandy today? Who defines what made Normandy what is that land today? Breaks the whole structure of what was written. So we will know from the other part what happened and how it's continuing as you are writing a history, all right? From 2026 to 2030. Past, present, future. We're coming to a 360-degree storytelling with 360 angles. You're free to play as you wish. Bye.